Since the beginning of mankind, we have always wondered, as we looked up at the night sky, what is out there? What is beyond our point of view? What is beyond Earth? Is there someone else out there like us on distant planets like this? Are we alone in the universe? Are we alone in the solar system? Are we alone in the galaxy? Are we alone in the universe? Is there intelligent life? What would happen if we met a life form from another planet? How would we act? How would we react? These are many questions that has been plaguing our minds as humans for eons. Since we left Africa and went on our journey across the world, you've always asked the question, what else is what else is out there? The question of, is there or are there extraterrestrial life on other planets, other worlds, shoot, other galaxies, other, is this one universe of many? You know, and it's a big debate about it. Are there extraterrestrials? Are there other life forms from other planets? Will they visit us? Have they already visited us? Where did they come from? You know, do the government know about them and they're not telling us anything? What do they look like? Do they look like us? Do they look similar to us? What? Like, what are they made of? Well, let's dive into that. For those who don't know, extraterrestrial simply means extra, meaning more than. Terrestrial, meaning terra is Latin for land. That's actually the official name for Earth. Terra. It means land. It's Latin for land. Okay. So it's extra Earth, but not just extra Earth. What it really means is other is life forms on other planets like Earth, right? Reason why I say is because in astronomy, there's a phrase called the Goldilocks zone. If you know anything about the solar system, as we were taught in elementary school, the solar system consists of eight, not nine planets. You have the rocky planets, inner planets. That's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, right? Then you have the asteroid belt. You have the outer planets, the big gaseous planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, right? The Goldilocks zone is that zone that is most conducive to sustain self-replicating life. What I mean by that is you have planets that are closer to the sun, right? Mercury, Venus. Okay. You have planets that are farther away from the sun. That's Mars on to Uranus, right? Earth is in a specific area where it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. They got the expression from the Three Little Bears. Anybody know the story about the Three Little Bears? Where Goldilocks went to the house of the three bears, and she was all in their house just breaking the law, and she ate their porridge, and the Papa Bear's porridge was too hot, the Mama Bear's porridge was too cold, but the Baby Bear's porridge was just right, and the beds either too hard or too soft, but the Baby Bear's bed was just right, stuff like that. Well, that's how it is with Earth, our Earth. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right for life. Okay? So, with that being the case, we as humans have always wanted to know, are there other worlds in the galaxy, in the universe, like ours? Okay? And With finding those planets that are called Earth-like planets, the exoplanets and certain exoplanets called Earth-like planets. Exoplanets means planets that are outside of our solar system. Exo meaning outside, right? Are there planets? Are there other exoplanets that inhabit a Goldilocks zone like ours, right? Because if there's a star, most likely there's probably some planets there. So with those planets, are they planets in those particular galaxies or those particular solar systems that have a Goldilocks zone, right? And with those other planets that may be in the Goldilocks zone, do those planets have life like ours? And more specifically, do they have what's called intelligent life? Intelligent life is pretty much something it's a human bias, right? Because truth be told, the majority of the life on this planet are microorganisms, right? Microorganisms. And we are made up of complex DNA, carbon-based life forms, complex DNA. We require a heat source or energy source and liquid water, and chances are we can make life, right? And I say heat source, not just the sun, because you have life that lives under, that's deep in the ocean that light can't reach. They have like volcanic activity in the water, but it's still a heat source. So all you need is a heat source and liquid water, and chances are you find life. Which is actually one of the models from NASA is like follow the water. People say follow the money. Well, we come like to space and trying to find life. They say follow the water, because what we have learned on this planet is that every time we found water, we found life. It may be microorganisms, but we found life nonetheless. I think what has happened with humans is that when we think of life, when you ask the average person, is there life on other planets? They most likely say yes, because they say, well, the galaxy, the universe is too large for it just to be us. I agree. I believe it's too large, too vast for it just to be us. The only planet in the entire universe with life forms. I find that highly unlikely. But here's the problem: when someone says, "Okay, you believe there's life on other planets," what do they look like? Rarely, if ever, unless they understand the science of this, rarely, if ever, will you hear a person say microorganisms. If you were to say, does the government know that there's life on other planets? They'll probably say yes. The government knows, and they're hiding it from us. And they say, okay, well, what does these life forms look like? They'll probably give you some ET alien predator looking creature, not thinking that if you were to take an example from this planet alone, the majority, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it said 99% of all the life on this planet you cannot see with the naked eye. So that means that human beings, elephants, birds, lizards, spiders, ticks, grasshoppers, uh, tigers, snakes, dogs, cats, all of that is part of that 1% of life that you can see. 99% of all life on this planet you cannot see with the naked eye. Which would mean, if you were to take that same model and take it to outer space, you would say, okay, if we know that the majority of life on this planet are microorganisms, why are we so hard pressed to find a human-like creature from another planet? Why are we so hard pressed to see a large life form from another planet? When the data will show you need to look for microorganisms. You look for microbes. That's what you need to look for. You need to take a microscope with you and go look for microbes, because most likely that's what most of life is going to be. Now, why do I say this? Well, that's the question. What does it take for life to flourish on this planet? We can take examples from Earth and see if we can expand to other worlds. Okay. What are the key elements for life on this planet? Okay. We need a heat source. I didn't say sun, I said heat source. We need liquid water. Okay, liquid water. So let's see. What's in water? Hydrogen, oxygen. All life on this planet requires water. All life on this planet requires water. So it means 9 times out of 10, there's parts of water in the organisms of this planet. So it means you got all life forms have hydrogen, oxygen. Okay. We are carbon-based life forms. That's carbon, right? 78% of the air we breathe on this planet is nitrogen. 78%. 4. Okay. Let's see. Helium is is the most abundant in the universe because it's the first element. No, it's hydrogen, helium. But since helium is chemically inert, you don't really need that. All you need is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. All right? That's the basic 4 elements you need for life on this planet. They ask the question, well, are those same 4 elements in the universe? Yes. In fact, they are the most abundant elements in the universe, those 4 especially. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Those 4 are the most abundant. She said, okay, if we know that those are the 4 most abundant, if we know that life on this planet requires those 4, at least those 4, to create, sustain, and maintain life, then it will only seem logical to say that yes, not only is there life on other planets, but now we have a blueprint as to what to look for. We need to look for a planet in the Goldilocks zone. Okay, look for planets in the Goldilocks zone. Well, not even planets. I won't say planets. We need to look for a star system, a solar system, right? And we need to look for a celestial body that's in the Goldilocks zone of that star that has liquid water or some kind of heat source that particular body also has liquid water. Okay? So if you can find it, we say, okay, now what are we looking for? We need to look for what is the most abundant what's the most abundant life on this planet? Microorganisms. Not that ET stuff. No. So first thing we need to do is get the Hollywood as a thinking. We need to get the Hollywood manifestation of aliens. Because every time we think of here's the thing. Have you noticed that every time there's a alien movie, right? Now, one time have you seen a microorganism? Even though if you're going to look for extraterrestrial life, most likely it will be microorganisms. But since Hollywood has been making ET movies, extraterrestrial movies, or alien movies, there has not been now one microorganism. You have ET, the actual movie ET, which is extraterrestrial, not a microorganism. Alien, not a microorganism. Predator, not a microorganism. What else? I'm trying to think. Prometheus, not a microorganism. Let's see what else. Just name them. Now, I understand that that is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, not a microorganism. Now, I understand that you're doing this for effect and for drama, for dramatic effect for the audience, for the paying customer. I get that. But the problem with that is if you give someone a visual of a particular subject matter, like you say aliens, but every time you give alien an identity, you give them a humanoid. You also got to think, why are all the aliens humanoid? They have the same pretty much the same anatomy, same figure. You gotta think, okay, how many animals on this planet have the same figure as humans? Bipedal, arms, fingers, no dexterity, stuff like that. How many animals on this planet do that? As compared to all the life on this, all the life, like I said, all the life on this planet is microorganisms. So that 1% of life on this planet is the animals that you can see, including us. Out of that 1%, a smaller percentage are bipedal. We are bipedal. Birds are bipedal. Uh, Other primates can be bipedal. Bears can be they're predominantly on all fours, but bears can move on two legs. Gorillas can move on two legs. No, other primates can move on two legs. Kangaroos move on two legs. They can walk on fours, but they move on two legs predominantly. So you got to think, out of all the animals that are on this planet, very small percentage of the 1% are actually bipedal. You have animals that don't even have arms and legs. Snakes, they don't have arms and legs. Worms, no arms and legs. No eyes either. So why are all the Hollywood manifestations of aliens after a creature that's less than 1% of the total population of all the species on the planet? We are part of the 1% that is less. We are less than the 1%. Think about all bipedal animals on the planet make up less than 1%. If 99% of all the life on this planet is the microorganisms, that means that the 1% is what you can see. The 1% of all life forms on this planet is what you can see. We as humans are we are less than 1% of all the creatures on the planet. So if you're going to make a movie about aliens, right? Why not go for the most common form of life on a planet? The most common form? Microorganisms. That's the most common form of life on this planet. Microorganisms. Human beings are not the majority of life on this planet. We are not the majority of life on this planet. But I understand it's a human bias. And because of that human bias, you now have people thinking that whenever they say alien, they think of human-like, humanoid. Right? That's what people think. You go ask anybody, say, do you think the government knows that there are aliens in the universe? People say yes. And then it's okay, if you were to guess, what do you think the aliens will look like? They will give you a humanoid figure. Because due to Hollywood, and due to a lack of understanding and a lack of knowledge, a lack of scientific literacy, people wrongfully educated about what life really is. Human beings are not the majority on this planet. In terms of all life on this planet, we are not close to the majority of life on this planet. We are close to 8 billion. The human population is getting close to 8 billion on this planet. And we are still not the majority of life on this planet. So if you want to make an actual alien movie, if you want to make a movie about life from other planets that share the same elements as we do, because these elements are not just on this planet, these elements are all over the universe. Carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen. Like, if you have a star, you have all the elements. A star has all of the elements. Carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen. It goes from hydrogen to helium, and it goes all the way from one all the way to up to the periodic table elements. So all of the elements are in a star, right? But the elements that are required that you really need to make life, like I said, we need water, hydrogen, and oxygen. We got hydrogen and oxygen. We got water in us. We got hydrogen and oxygen. We're a carbon-based life form. Carbon is very fertile. It can bond with any element easily, with any element. So if you're going to make life, if you're going to make complex life, you want to use the most fertile element there is. That is carbon. 6 hydrogen, Six protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. Easy. Can bond with anything. She said, okay, if I'm gonna go to a distant galaxy on the other side of the universe and look for life, I need to know how much carbon, how much hydrogen, how much oxygen, how much nitrogen it has. Is there liquid water here? Because if there's liquid water, we already got two elements there. We already got two elements. If there's water, whether it be frozen or liquid, but preferably liquid. If there's liquid water there, we already got two of the elements: hydrogen and oxygen. We are already on the roll. Now we need a heat source. Is there a heat source? If there's a heat source, whether it be the sun or whether it be an internal heat source, we working with something. Because we know from our planet, if we have a heat source, either the sun or some kind of heat source, either from tidal moving or a volcano under the water, whatever it is, heat, and whatever is liquid water, we got something. Just think about this. In the springtime and in the summertime, you go outside in the spring or summer, whenever there's water, right? Whenever there's still water, on a hot day, you'll always find life. All you need is water and a heat source. You'll find life. Some kind of larvae, like a mosquito, something like that. You'll find it. So if it works here, chances are it can work on another planet. So, are we alone? I'm going to definitively say no, we're not alone. However, I think we as a species need to be very, very specific about what kind of life we're looking for. Because if you say life and all of a sudden you always think about human life, you will be searching forever to find life if all you're looking for is human life. No. You look on Earth and say, what's the most common organism on this planet? And you go find it on other planets. Microorganisms here, try to find microorganisms there. Right? All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I enjoyed talking with you about it. Leave a comment down below, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit the little bell thing. I will catch you all later. Peace.